Good evening and welcome back to my kitchen. I am very excited this evening to share with you what I'm going to be doing. And it is icing a cake for a baby shower. And not just any baby shower, my first baby shower. I've never been to one before. We didn't have them whenever I was having my babies. And even more special than that, it's a baby shower for my first grandchild. So I'm really excited. So I have all sorts of creative plans in my head as to what this cake's going to look like. So I'm hoping it's going to turn out like that this evening when I show you what I'm doing. The baby, my son and daughter-in-law, Ross and Claire. Claire is expecting the baby end of March, beginning of April. Who knows? You know, with babies, they don't always keep to the same schedule as we'd like them to. So the baby shower is on Saturday, and I'm doing a cake, and I'm also doing some biscuits, which if I get a chance tonight, I'll show you those as well. So what I bought online, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to show you each bit of it, is I had this vision in my head, and if some of you maybe don't know that I have a small business making and decorating celebration cakes for people, as well as some, I also do some catering. And quite often people look on Pinterest and then come to me with ideas, and I'm like, oh, how am I going to turn that into a cake? So did exactly the same. I went on Pinterest. I don't know what you do. You just Google or search baby shower cakes. And we don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, so it has to be kind of neutral. And I got these ideas. So I sent away on Amazon for some of these decorations. So we've got a little topper in a lovely gold acrylic that says, "Oh baby." So I'm going to use that on top of the cake. Don't know if that's got a bit of, I'll just check whether that's got a little bit of, sometimes there's a second layer of plastic that needs to come off. So that's very sweet. But then in the pack as well came little gold spheres, cream ones, and a lovely sort of sagey, what would you say, sage pale green ones as well. There's sprigs of eucalyptus. Oh, and lovely dark green spheres as well. So there's quite a lot of bits of eucalyptus, which is what I want. And then also we've got little picks of sort of like feathery grasses, which are lovely too. Like little just like little tails. They're lovely. And you can cut those down to size. And then there's some smaller ones and some little flowers. And the other thing is also these little like gold fans that can be put in as well. So those are all the picks I have for the cake to decorate it with. So that's what I'm going to get creative with later. So I'll just put them all to one side until we're ready for them. Lovely. And then I thought whenever I was actually setting it up, I would put lots of eucalyptus around the base of the cake stand. So I've got some nice fresh eucalyptus that I can put around the base, which would be lovely. And their invitations that they had for their baby shower had eucalyptus on it. And it seems to have been, it was the colour that they had as part of their wedding decor as well. So it's very in keeping. So I'm just super excited. I hope not. I have to steady myself so I don't make a mess and make it work out beautifully. So let's start. Without more further ado, I'm going to place you so that you can see what I'm at. She says, hopefully. I got a new tripod, so hopefully we're going to have some better angles. Let me see. I want to be able to see everything except me, which is fine. Okay. Yes, I think that's not too bad. Right, so I've got a 12-inch cake board. I have baked Victoria sponge for this one, just kept it simple sponge. So I have 3 layers of cake. I've also made some vanilla butter icing, and I have some raspberry jam. This one's Marks and Spencer's raspberry jam. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is just fill my piping bag with the butter icing. So lots of butter icing on the go. I'm very excited at becoming a granny. I really am. Can't wait. It's all very exciting, but I just have to wait until the baby's ready to come. But we don't know, it's he or she. It is doing lots of kicking and giving mummy sore ribs because of all the kicking it's doing. So it's definitely a busy little bee. So I'm just going to start here with a little blob of icing that's going to keep my cake in place. And I always like to offset it a little bit so that I have a bit of a deeper bit at the front and a wee bit smaller at the back. It allows me then to put some decorations on the front of the cake. Now, then I'm just going to put some icing in the middle. Okay, and then we'll just quickly smooth it all out. And make sure it's even. And then I love raspberry jam in the middle of my Victoria sponge cakes. And so what I do is I just scoop a section out in the middle, take away the icing from the center, just a bit of it, but leave a ridge so that the jam doesn't end up going down the side of the cake. There is nothing worse than trying to ice a cake with jam oozing out the side of it. So I don't want that to happen. So let's put the raspberry jam in the middle. Generous amount of raspberry jam, but not too generous. So as I say, it's going to squeeze out the edges. That looks rather good. Yum. Oh, I love Victoria sponge and jam. Okay, second layer then goes on. Just press down the middle, straighten it up. Yeah, looking okay. There we go. I'm going to just repeat the same process. So that's our third layer on. Let's just try and straighten it up. Excuse me, I'm going to clear these bits out of the road so that I've got plenty of space. Oh, that's looking a little jaunty. Let's straighten it up and smooth out the icing. I'm going to do what they call is like a crumb coat, and that just seals in all the crumbs of the cake so that your top layer of icing doesn't have bits of cake on show. So I'm just really give it a quick crumb coat. So that's pretty much covered up. And I just like to go around the base of the cake to remove any extra icing from the cake board. And I always like to keep the cake as tidy as possible as I go along, and tidy as I go. So there we go, that's pretty tidy. So that's just the crumb coat. So the next thing to do is just fill up my piping bag again. And you can refrigerate the cake at this point if you want to. I sometimes do, depending on what flavour or what texture it is, but with this Victoria sponge I know it'll be fine. I just continue on, and I'm going to put the top layer of icing in now. I don't like to refrigerate my cakes too much because I'm always nervous of the sponge getting dry. So I like to just keep it all at room temperature really, and work away at it. So let's get the next coating on. So this is the final coat. So I just like to keep my nozzle going, squeezing the bag as I go along, so that I'm getting like an even layer of icing all the way around. My wide spatula again. I'm just going to work around the cake, mixing in, sort of bringing the rows of the icing together, just to fill in all the gaps, pressing it into the cake so that you're getting a nice firm contact with the cake, and at this point you'll see lots of air bubbles. Start at the bottom and press in, and I'm just making like a spiral effect up the cake. So I press into the icing and just keep it turning. And then at the top, I'm going to just bring the edges over. Lovely. Okay, that's the cake pretty much ready for decorating. So I'm just going to again go around and clean up the base. Make sure it's nice and tidy. There we go. Okay, so I've done a bit of a clear up so that I have space now for the decorating. And as I say, we have a gold sort of like fan leaf, which I love. We've got these little spheres that are on wire, which is brilliant. They're already done. My little grasses, and we've got this lovely little bunch here, which I think I probably will undo and just use individually rather than as a big bunch. So I have these all laid out now in front of me, and we will start decorating. And this is where I get all creative. I know none of my cakes ever look the same, even if it's meant to be a similar design. There's always a little bit of creativity goes in it. So I have a couple of ideas on my laptop in front of me here, just to give me a few guiding sort of ideas, and I'm just going to tilt you down and you can watch as I get creative. So let's get you tilted down. Let's just bring this forward a little bit. So I have sort of steadied up my wheel so it can't move, so that the front is looking at me and I can't move it. And I'm going to start with the back. Oh boy, this is, you just have to go with it. Once you start it, you just have to go and hope that you like the end result. Yes, okay, so far so good. So we need a little bit more height up here. So I'm going to use one of these little grasses. Front, and I also like to make sure I get a little bit behind. So I'll put another one in behind one of these spheres over here. I've also got my piping bag full of icing, and I can put little florets of icing in amongst that. A little bit higher. Got to make sure I have room for Oh Baby, because obviously we don't know what it's going to be, so we have to have room for Oh Baby. We've got little grasses, which are rather nice, so I'm going to put some of them in there. And let's see. I might cut a little bit off this one, make it a little bit shorter, because I want some down here. There's some other thing. I'll have a go with that later. I'll maybe try a different angle. Grass. Now, I've got lots more of these spheres, so I need maybe a cream one in here. And maybe we'll finish with the gold one, just going in at this angle. And then that means I can add some of these little grass tails in here. Getting places. Pretty much silver. I don't want to add silver into that. I have boxes and boxes of sprinkles. So that has got some, but it's mostly, well, it has got some of those little tiny little gold ones. That might work. That might work. And I did have a pair of tweezers somewhere. And they are. I can actually do this, but and I quite like just putting a little. Just going to bring in really close here just so you can see the cake as I just put the last of the details. Hopefully you can see it. I'm just going to use my tweezers to put little gold balls into the centre of the icing florets. And not all of them, I don't want all of them filled. Oh, it's not so easy, but there we go. Don't forget the back of your cake. Not that everybody sees it because I am going to put it on a cake stand, but I like to make sure the cake is sort of finished in the round. Oh, I do think that's rather nice. So what I love, I can't resist, and I know it's probably more is more with me, I just can't resist. I have to add a little bit of edible glitter to my cakes. It just finishes them off. Problem is with my cakes, I wish I could be maybe a bit more sophisticated with my cakes, but I never know when to stop. When it comes to glitter, oh boy. Now I draw the line at glitter now when it comes to craft. Now, Granny in Waiting is not very good at messy crafts. I'll just take some of this grass off the top of my cake, I don't want that. I have a bit of an aversion to my poor children. Never really did much in the way of glitter crafts in the house. They did do baking, needless to say. And Granny in Waiting will be more than happy to teach baking when the time comes. And hopefully they'll be interested. Certainly their daddy is a very good cook. I don't think he bakes much. Oh, baby. I think you're rather lovely. I think you're rather lovely. Yeah. Now I'm just going to turn you around and bring you in and just show you. And I'll take you away from the salt and pepper and the herbs. And what do we think? Are you seeing my vision? I don't know if you can see, there's just that little bit of glitter all around the edge. I just can't resist. I can't resist. There we are. That is the baby shower cake. Oh, I'm very pleased with it. Now, the other thing I'm going to make for the baby shower as well is a cookie, which I'm going to have embossed icing on top of. So I've just made shortbread biscuits. I managed to get lovely pale green fondant icing, and I've embossed into it the words baby shower. Or this is so cute. Wait, you see this one? This one has got little baby feet. Oh, so cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of icing on each of the biscuits, place on the fondant and just do a little bit of decorating. So I'll just leave this running while I work away at that, and you can just keep an eye on what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But I'm going to go with these as they are now. So the idea is then you have a cookie with the embossed icing on it. And I might add a little more, but you know me, I have to try and hold back, but see what we think of them when they're all done. So I'm putting the little feet on, 2 little baby feet, and the baby shirt. And I love these embossing stamps because you can get them with Valentine's, Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas, birthday. You can get them personalised for weddings and things, you know, if you want Mr. and Mrs. Whatever, you can get them personalised. So now, do I stop with these as they are? Or, I haven't really got one to practice on because I don't have enough discs of fondant. Do I add a little butter icing with a few sprinkles and lift them up a bit? Well, you probably can guess what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, well, do you know what? I've got a couple of extra cookies. So I'm going to try one. I can always tidy it up when I'm not using it if I don't have to. So let's see. A little tiny little bit of gold in each. Right, I'm going to set these out and show you the finished results. Well, this is the way I'd like to set it up. Not quite exactly, because obviously it won't have the same backdrop, but whenever I get to the venue, I want to have the cake on a slightly taller cake stand. I have a nice wooden one, and then I'm going to place the biscuits around the bottom of it and some eucalyptus branches then in and around it as well. And this is how I envisage setting it up. So you can see the lovely little biscuits with baby shower and the little feet on it. And then I think the cake's worked really well, and I just love the colour scheme. I just think it looks really, really good. So I'm hoping Mama will enjoy it and all the guests will enjoy eating the cake and the biscuits, and really excited to go to my first baby shower. Yeah, I'm really excited to go to my first baby shower and just lap up every minute, and all the family with us. Oh, I think I might have some icing in my hair. Oh dear goodness. The downside of celebration cakes and icing cakes. Icing gets everywhere. Anyway, great excitement, and if I can, I'll get a photograph of the day and the cake in situ in the venue and show you it. But I hope you've enjoyed joining me in making my first baby shower cake for my very first baby shower for my very first grandchild. So see you again soon in my kitchen.